This is the design guide for the Twitter keyword search ad. We'll go ahead and preview this real quick. So the Twitter keyword search ad is an ad with really 6 different elements on here. The first element is your marquee or main sponsor, which goes at the very top of the ad. This is basically one image that doesn't rotate or anything. It's basically a static image that always remains on screen. And then below, you have an area for up to 5 different rotating sub-sponsors, which could either be different advertisers, or if the main sponsor wants to buy out the whole ad, they could have one or more offers rotating through with different click-through URLs. And then in the center of the ad, you have basically your content. And what this content is going to do is basically pull information from the Twitter universe on the most popular feeds for whatever keyword you've typed in. In this instance, we used new home sales, and these are the most popular new home sale tweets coming from everybody within the Twitter universe. This ad automatically updates every 20 seconds. If there's a new feed, it'll refresh. If you wanted to refresh manually, you click on the button, and if there is a new most popular tweet, you can see that here. And it'll by default list out the top 15 here, so you can scroll through and see. If we come in here to the builder now, there are no configurable text fields. Everything lies here in the media. Basically, as I mentioned, you have your header image, which is 300 by 105, any JPEG, PNG, or GIF, and that's going to remain static, whereas you have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sub-sponsors or rotating marquee slides underneath that are all the same height and width as well, 300 by 105. You also have the rollover refresh button. You can upload a different version, different colors, whatever you want for that, as a up image, over image, and down image, so it changes as you actually roll over for a nice effect. Coming into colors, colors are very important. As you noticed in the preview, we had a very strong background, row background color. This is kind of the primary driver of what this ad's going to look like. So if we want to change this and make it a more subtle ad, we change the border color to red, and I'm going to change the background color to white. And when we preview here, you'll notice that green background is gone, and it really lends a different feel to the ad with that. We always have a slight gradient back here, but this is the white, very muted background, whereas if we go in here again and let's change this to blue, for instance, and preview, you'll see that the background color makes a huge difference in terms of how eye-catching or impactful this particular ad's going to look. So you see here that putting in blue makes a big difference as well if we want to change that to yellow or any other color really. So we'll grab yellow here and preview the ad. It's going to make a big difference in terms of how this looks and feels. So oftentimes you want to tie that color into the colors of the main sponsor to maybe make it look and feel a little more branded. Coming down here to click-through URLs, you have your first marquee click-through, and then up to the 5 images below, each of which can have their own click-through URL. And finally, going through all of your different custom settings. Do you want a border around the ad? Yes. If so, how thick do you want the border in pixels? Border corner radius. If you set this to 0, it'll be a hard right angle. If you put it as anything more than 0, it's going to round the edges. Total marquee slides that we've gone over. Do you want 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, for instance, to show? That'll rotate through all 5. Time taken to show and hide slide, that's basically the fade in and out. So let's say, for instance, you have 5 seconds for the pause between them. That means how long are they going to stay on screen, and then 2 seconds is how long they'll fade in and out. So that just makes for a nicer transition typically when you put a longer fade in here. Replay quantity, that's for again the bottom sub-sponsors or marquee slides. 0 continuously rotates them, or any number of times would limit it to the number of times you've put in here. Now here's one of the most important field is the Twitter keyword search term. So right now we have new home sales in here. We could, for instance, change this if it was for a, if you were promoting a movie theater, you could do new movie releases. And when we preview this, will instantly change the content in here to reflect what people are tweeting about new movie releases. And again, most popular cars for the auto sections, sports teams for the sports sections, things like that. Do you want most popular, most recent, or a mixed version of the two in terms of the tweets that you're pulling? We recommend leaving this as popular. What that's typically going to do is filter out any potentially negative or unsavory types of comments are really filtered out. Popular searches are the ones that get retweeted and reposted, so they typically have some value to them because people thought they were interesting enough to kind of retweet and repost, and that's what is drawn on when you put in the popular selection here. And then finally that refresh button. Do you want to show it or do you want to hide it? If I click no, the refresh button manually will go away, but the ad will still automatically update every 20 seconds. So that's it for the design guide. As always, if you have any design questions, give us a call at 866-467-2289.